talking franchises here, bud.
Hey, welcome to a bonus episode of the franchise. We're keeping up with a franchise that we covered on the show. Keeping up with the Spanglers. I'd watch that. No, I wouldn't. It's horrible. So we've got a podcast here, and we'll talk about podcasts. My favorite Ghostbuster. And let's bring in Logan Biadair. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Not only am I here, but I've been here the whole time because, as you all know, Ghost never leaves a haunted house.
The only part of Ghostbusters Afterlife that I liked was Ghost Never Leaves a Haunted House. And not only did they not put it in this one, they didn't even have McKenna Grace do a follow-up song.
Yeah, I thought for sure she'd have. I didn't think they'd play it again, but I thought she'd have a new one.
I did too. I was fucking furious. All right.
Yeah.
Ghost never leaves a haunted house. You just hang out, make out with them, have same-sex relations.
Is there anything there? Is there anything with Ghost Cunnilingus? I know Ghost Blowjob is like one of your favorite things, but
yeah, well, Ghost Blowjob. Logan's a Ghostbusters purist. All right, he's not a fan, really. Like, you like the original, but you don't consider it like a classic in the same way folks of my generation do.
I do consider it a classic. I don't love it as much as everyone else. I understand. I get it. It's not one of my favorites.
But you don't like the second one at all.
Not
and
really.
You preferred Lady Ghostbusters to that one.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So I come from, I was born in 86. So like I grew up with the Ghostbusters. It was like a huge deal. So like Ghostbusters is like a 5-star masterpiece for me. But the thing with the Ghost Blowjob is it's the one part of that movie that just clearly doesn't hold up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one bad scene in a masterpiece. And so I started using that for other movies. If there's one bad scene in a really great movie, that's the Ghost Blowjob. I'm talking about Empire Strikes Back when
the dream sequence.
He pops Vader's mask off and it's Luke under there. That's a Ghost Blowjob.
That's right.
All right.
What are some other ones? That's one I thought of too.
That's the classic, I think. But I feel like I've come up with them in the past.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a trope on the show. But now they're making Ghostbusters movies that are just all blowjobs. just 100% blowjobs.
Which can be good sometimes, but
yeah. Could be good in like the Teens Like It Big series. I don't know. Is that a thing you're familiar with?
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Okay, great.
But back to Ghost Cunnilingus. Is that funny at all? Because they're lesbians. When I was watching this, I was like, "Oh, Ghost Cunnilingus. That's kind of funny."
I don't think it's that funny, but it was funny that storyline was in this movie.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the gay ghost?
I did. Yeah, I wouldn't have a month ago, but
yeah, she was Dr. Sleep, and so I spent the entire rest of the movie looking out for her mom. Because remember, she's got a crazy stage mom that shows up in all her shit. I think she couldn't get a job in this one.
Wow, she's finally moved on under the conservatorship.
No, she was definitely there every fucking day. But I just think Gil Keenan was like, nah.
Why though? Like, this actor is now like 22, 23 years old.
Playing a 16-year-old.
Tell your mom not to come to set anymore.
How old's McKenna? Well,
she's 17, I think, still.
All right. That's a thing with like even Katherine Heigl's mom. I just watched The Ugly Truth. And I saw Katherine Heigl's mom got a producer credit on it.
Well, maybe they might do that as a favor. Like, I want to get my mom a producer credit rather than my mom wants a producer credit.
She wants it. I'm telling you, some of these stage moms, they'll stick around for like their entire life.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this one gets really famous and she's able to ditch her mom.
Well, she seems to have eclipsed her sister, who I knew first.
Yeah. This is the one I know.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it, I guess. This is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is the title.
Sure is.
Is that the worst title of any Ghostbusters movie? Yeah.
I'd be like of any movie. Frozen Empire. Come on. You could just substitute that in for any franchise.
You really could. Godzilla, Kong, Frozen Empire. That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious, Frozen Empire. Maybe that doesn't work as well.
That works fine. Aquaman, Frozen Empire.
That would be good. That would be cool. They freeze the water and he's like,
oh yeah,
about it.
I know. All his friends are
Patrick Wilson's Frozen. Gotta save him.
Well, no, he's not a friend. He's a bad guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Patrick Wilson's
Willem Dafoe. He's Frozen. Gotta save him.
He's in those?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Like a little bit.
I didn't know that either. Well, I haven't seen the second Aquaman, guys. We'll cover it for the show at some point. But the Frozen Empire, it's they made it because the last one made money. There's really no story behind it.
No.
Right? We have Gil Keenan, who wrote the last one. He's back to co-write this one with Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son.
Mm-hmm.
And Gil Keenan, he's now directing this bad boy as well. Are you familiar with any of his classic directing career?
Sure. Monster House.
Yep. It's still the best movie he's ever made.
Yeah, he did the Poltergeist remake.
Yep, which was boring.
And he did an episode of the Scream television show.
Right. He also did something called City of Ember, which I think was like a YA thing. And also a movie called A Boy Called Christmas.
I don't know it.
I don't know it either, man. But it's got to be Netflix, right?
Yeah, totally.
That feels like it can't be anywhere else but Netflix.
I don't see the logo on the poster, though.
I'm telling you, Google.
It is streaming on Netflix, but I'm not sure it's like a Netflix original or not.
I'm telling. There's no way Netflix, even if they didn't make it, they saw that title and they were like, "That's going on Netflix."
Oh, I do see the logo on the poster at the bottom.
There you go.
It's just not red, the classic red logo.
Why not? That's a Christmas color.
You're right. It's just like down there in black and white on the
bullshit.
Studios.
Should be green and red.
Yeah, that should make it green. Yeah.
All right. Frozen Empire. Let's talk about it.
Do we have to? Legitimately.
We don't have to talk about it for long.
I'm just
be a pretty short. No. I'm sort of fucking with you, dude. Like, I took a break halfway through this movie just to shower. I didn't even have to.
I remember when you were on the Real Weird Sisters talking about the Chamber of Secrets. You all were like, I had to like stop and like I had to take a nap, I had to take a walk, I had to cook.
Yeah,
like you all like had to do something in the middle of that movie.
But that's because that movie's so long.
Yeah, this one's like probably like an hour 40.
No, hour 55. But
shit.
The closing credits are long as shit, so really more like an hour 48 or something. But it's not like it felt super long. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I need to not be watching this for a little while.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So by the way, the first 3 Ghostbusters movies, they were comedies, right?
That's what I thought. I mean, I remember they came back. The new trailer for the last movie was like kind of a dark trailer, and people were kind of excited, like, "Oh, a dark Ghostbusters." But I mean, this one's kind of like Paul Rudd's trying to be funny in this one. Way more in the last one. Paul Rudd works in this one.
There's a few people trying to be funny. Kumail's pretty funny in this, I thought.
Really? You like Kumail?
Yeah, I liked Kumail.
You like Patton?
No,
I hated Patton.
I know. I was like, bro, go home to your fucking wife who you murdered for. Fucking this movie opens on a Robert Frost poem. Like, if you asked me as a kid, like, how should you start a Ghostbusters movie, I'd have been like, probably with like a ghost doing some goofy shit.
Yeah,
but no, they started on a Robert Frost poem.
Lady Ghostbusters. I'm sorry, I call it Lady. That's just like the joke now. I call it Lady Ghostbusters. But I remember that one opens like Zach Woods from The Office is doing a
that scene is funny.
Yeah, it's like one of the best scenes of the whole movie. I think is the opening scene of that one. And here, yeah, but it's Frost for Frozen Empire. I thought that was a funny joke. Actually, I don't know if that's what they were doing, but
I didn't even. No, it's just the poem is like some worlds end in fire, some worlds end in ice, or whatever it is. Because it's Frozen Empire.
Are all of his bits about ice?
No. He also wrote, 2 roads diverged in a wood. Which one?
Yellowwood.
What?
Two roads, right? In a yellow wood. I think that's from an
It's
episode of Zack and
specifically
Cody.
yellow. It's not from an episode of Zack and
It
Cody.
is. They
It's
go to
from
summer
a
school.
Classic poem.
They go to summer school. There's an episode where they go to summer school, and one of the things is that poem. They learn
And
about it.
you remember that it's specific.
Yes, yellow wood.
I
from
just
that
fucking
episode.
Googled it and it's 100% yellow wood. You nailed it.
And I only know it from that episode of Zack and Cody. I'm not kidding.
Look, Zack and Cody's educating the kids. That's more than I could say for these shows these days.
Yeah.
Am I right? Listen, Pickle Boy, he was an educator.
Oh, come on. Let's not talk about Pickle Boy.
Okay. Robert Frost starts the poem, and I'm just like, all right, this isn't funny. And then it starts on this. It's a flashback to 1904, and it's the Manhattan Adventurers Society. We learn about them later from Patton Oswalt, and they're just like chasing a ghost, and it's like a real scary ghost. And then there's this like artifact that freezes everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, when is the first joke gonna happen?
When was it? Something Paul
I'll
Rudd
tell
said?
you. I'll tell you exactly when it happened. A little over 5 minutes into the movie, we're finally in present day. Finn Wolfhard gets a really bad. No. It's McKenna Grace. She says a joke. All right. And then Finn Wolfhard immediately responds to the joke with the line, "Can we not do jokes right now?" And I'm like, can we fucking do some jokes
We
right
better
now?
get the jokes
This
going.
is a comedy.
Or I'm leaving. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Finn trying to really. By the way, we talked last week like Finn's probably going to do nothing again. Finn has never had a movie where he did a single thing, I don't think.
he's just put in movies to be the Stranger Things kid.
So point me in the direction of the movie where Finn Wolfhard did something. I'd love
his
to know it.
his subplot in this is he's like searching for Slimer because everything's a callback, of course. And he's trying to like capture Slimer, and we never even get like a conclusion to that subplot.
Yeah. Is it also a thing where he's like driving now?
Is he driving?
At the end of the movie, he drives the car. He's like, "Mom, I'm going to drive the car."
Well, the thing is, like, he's 18 now, street legal.
Mhm.
And McKenna Grace isn't yet. She's like 15 still in the movie.
Right.
And so they cause a lot of property damage at the beginning when they're fighting the, quote, Hell's Kitchen sewer dragon.
That sounded cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movies, I feel like people that don't live in New York don't understand that Hell's Kitchen's not a thing anymore. It's been called Clinton since like the 80s.
It might be Hell's Kitchen again. You haven't been there in a year.
Come on.
This movie was made since you've been
people
gone.
only call it that because of Daredevil.
I don't know.
All right. So anyway, they have a meeting with the mayor, who's now played by William Atherton, who was like the authority figure in the first one that Bill Murray said had no dick.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. So he's like, listen, Finn, he's street legal, so he can be a Ghostbuster. All right. McKenna, that's a no. You got to get rid of her. She's no longer a Ghostbuster, Logan.
And that's what happens for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's sort of her big struggle. Now we've got this new blended family. It's Paul Rudd.
They're great together, I think.
Who?
Rudd and what's her name? Carrie Coon.
Carrie Coon.
Yeah, they're really, really fun together.
Are they?
I like them. I think they have nice chemistry. By the way, what's up with? I thought we're putting Rudd with all these TV women. We had him with Lost, and then we put him with The Leftovers. What are we gonna do next?
They're all Damon Lindelof shows too.
Oh, really? I didn't put that together.
That's hilarious. Next, he'll be with Regina King in the next one.
Oh, that would be so good. They should do that.
Yeah. No, see, Carrie Coon, she's a great actress, very heart-wrenching. She brings real reality to everything she does. She's best known for The Leftovers, which is this deep, sad performance. And now we're just putting her in a Ghostbusters movie.
Listen, I want her to do more, but I for what it is, I like her here.
She's a good actor. But you know what she's not, Logan?
Funny?
Yeah.
I don't know if she's trying to be that funny. I like when she's
She's
talking about
not.
Finn, like you're
No
18
one's
now,
trying
go
to
in
be
the attic.
funny.
Be an adult. I think she's good there.
I remember that scene thinking, if this was two different actors, this scene might be funny. Because she has that line, and then Finn does a little like a physical comedy bit where he like trips going up the stairs, but it's so practiced. Like there's no spontaneity to it whatsoever.
Like if it was Joan Cusack.
Oh, Joan Cusack would nail it.
She's amazing.
I mean, who's gonna play an 18-year-old who's like a funny kid now?
Jacob Tremblay.
What?
What do you mean? He's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he was in Good Boys.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
he
really might have been able to do it. Where are the Good Boys?
Where are they at?
Where are the Good Boys at?
Put them in every movie. Where's Good Boys 2?
You remember that movie Strays from last summer about the talking dog?
That was from the director, right?
Yeah, it was just. Do you think he was bummed he wasted the title Good Boys on the previous one?
I think you've said that, but that wasn't Ham watching here, so I'll let you say it again for the public. But yeah, I do think that. It works both ways.
I think that all the time. All right. All right, so let's cat.
What about the scene where Paul Rudd's like, he says, "Bustin' makes me feel good," and she's like, "Nope, don't say that."
I thought that scene was funny.
I thought they were good together there, right? They're really funny.
No. See, they're good together
but they were funny together in that scene.
Right? Yeah, they're charming.
I laughed in that scene.
They're both good actors.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know what Paul Rudd's do. I mean, get that bag, bro. But like,
he's gotta be
when
so
was the
wealthy
last
now.
time I know, but when was the last time like Paul Rudd made anything that was worthwhile?
He was in a Selena Gomez movie where yeah, I know it sounds like a joke. I think it was called The Fundamentals of Caring, where he was taking care of a guy in a wheelchair and he had a crush on Selena Gomez, and they like went on a little
Paul Rudd
trip.
had a crush on Selena Gomez.
No, the boy in the wheelchair did.
Oh God, that sounds terrible, dude.
I liked it a lot.
All right,
but I'm
looking at his filmography here, and I'll maybe give him that miniseries, The Shrink Next Door. That was all right. But the last like decent movie this guy made, I mean, we're going back like almost a decade.
Really?
Even
what about Living with Yourself?
Even your movie that was bad.
Really, that was bad? I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Fundamentals of Caring was 2016, by the way.
Right. You check
so
that out.
Even
add that to
that
your list.
Look, I think the last good movie he was in that I've seen is They Came Together, 2014, 10 years ago. Since then, he's just fucking Ant-Man and this Ghostbuster.
I mean, you're right. And he's been winning Sexiest Man Alive. Remember when he won that?
I do.
That's
Gary Gruberson, by the way. That's his name in these movies.
I think he's like changed his name because he hates Gruberson. He keeps making jokes like, I'm a Spangler now. Gruberson's a bad name. Call me Spangler.
But he's still Gruberson on his. I was paying very close attention to their name tags on their Ghostbuster uniforms. And Carrie Coon and Finn Wolfhard were both Spangler, but his said Gruberson.
Well, in movie 3, the paperwork will be finalized.
Well, yeah, they're not married yet, right? That's like part of the thing with this movie is they're like a blended family, and he's like trying to like work up to like being their stepdad.
She calls her Tim Dad at the end,
right? And that's like a big deal.
I thought that was a cute moment. Yeah,
I didn't, but I sort of liked the moment earlier where he's like trying to talk to her through a door and she's not there.
Yeah. Do they think, are we going to get a third movie? You think? Like, is this making money at all?
The thing is, it didn't make as much as they wanted it to, but it did make some money. So, like, I'm not sure. This came out March 22nd. It had a $100 million budget, and worldwide so far it's made about 200. Okay, if you look at the domestic box office, it's still ranked number 4 for the year so far. I mean, it'll get knocked out of the top 10 by the end of the summer, I'm sure. But like, I mean, that's pretty good. It's only been beat so far by Kung Fu Panda 4, Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire, and it's actually Godzilla times Kong: The New Empire, and Dune 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive. So, I mean, I would think there might be number 3.
There
or number 6.
Whatever yeah. I just don't want it.
I don't either. We were talking before we came on. This is the most like bankrupt franchise. Maybe not in terms of money, but in terms of ideas that there ever was.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what we're doing. Like, really, all we're doing is making tributes to the first two movies, and I'm like, we don't need to do that.
No,
You could just tell people to watch those first two movies.
I don't know why some of these characters are back because we were back in New York, but like Finn Wolfhard's girlfriend from the last movie is back,
Well,
and the
those fucking
podcast is back.
yeah. I mean, even William Atherton making him the mayor of New York, doesn't it like sort of hurt the ending of the original Ghostbusters where he like really gets his?
Honestly, I don't even think I put it together that was the like he was
Yeah,
from the first.
but he's
movie,
like
so.
pushed out of politics at the end of the first movie. Now here, I guess he's recovered. He's the mayor of New York, and we're just treating him like he's a classic character.
Yeah, I guess that would change the original.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got podcast. His Ghostbusters uniform, it doesn't have a patch on it, but he wrote in marker podcast on it.
It's pretty cool. I like podcast in this one.
Podcast is the worst character ever created for anything.
I like him. You know what I forgot about? I forgot his actor name was Logan. I forgot that.
You know who else is bad? Not only is the character bad, that actor fucking sucks.
I thought that character was well written. The
What
actor
are you
didn't do
talking
much.
about?
Didn't do much for me, but I enjoyed the character. I liked his dynamic with McKenna. I thought he was a nice helping hand. I liked his Dan Aykroyd dynamic.
I every time he was with McKenna, I was like, oh God, I like McKenna, but she's doing like a one-on-one scene with podcast.
I enjoyed it.
Dude, first of all, he doesn't even have a fucking podcast anymore. He's producing a YouTube show for Dan Aykroyd. Why doesn't he change his name to YouTube?
They have a YouTube, but they have a podcast version. Like they put the audio in a podcast feed.
Oh, probably. Like us?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. But he's living in Dan Aykroyd's basement. Guy. And
I thought it was like the Magic Box. Their little shop
is,
they had.
I think
like
they both
box.
live there too.
Yeah. Really falling on hard times.
Yeah, it's like an occult shop.
And that's where we meet Kumail. He comes in to bring in his grandmother recently died, and he has her old items that he's trying to sell.
Yeah. And when he shows interest in one, he's like, I just can't give it away for under $50. And then the more he talks,
under $60.
60. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Anyway, there's little Stay Puffed guys all over that.
Yeah.
Too. I hate those fucking guys.
Me too. That's the worst part. Much. What are we doing with those?
Listen, they were in a Liberty Mutual commercial. I was so furious because those are the only commercials I like, Limu Emu. Mm-hmm. And they like ruined Limu Emu for like months with these little Ghostbusters guys. And then I'm watching this movie. I'd forgotten all about that. And then I'm watching this movie and there's an enormous shot of a fucking Liberty Mutual billboard.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh yeah, right. I was remembering all the tie-ins. At one point, like the podcast was like, see this room where I live in the basement here? He usually rents it out on booking.com. And I was like, oh, that's a great place to book. Yeah.
They were booking. That's the first time. I mean, I was going to say first time I've ever heard it, but I didn't even hear it. But the booking.com in a movie, that's amazing. They made it big time.
It's like back in the CW days, you'll watch like episodes of they must have had some sort of deal. You watch like Gossip Girl or 90210 and shit, and they're always binging stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, oh, go bing that. And I'm like, no one, come on, that doesn't happen.
Holy shit. Bing is not even still around, I don't think.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure you could still Bing, but nobody talks about it.
It's like when, remember that movie Cursed, the werewolf movie?
Yeah.
That was in development for so long that there's a scene where one of them is on Craig Kilborn's talk show, and the show had been canceled by the time the movie came out.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So who else? Everyone's here. Janine.
Oh yeah.
If you missed Grandma Sheldon, she's there.
That was exciting.
And Slimer's in the attic. Winston, he's got like a high-tech facility. Oh, that's where that black girl turns up too. The love interest for Finn. She really didn't need to be in this movie.
No.
They shouldn't have had podcast or her in this movie. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense that they're in New York.
I agree. I would cut both of those characters out.
Yeah. And who else is Bill Murray? He
Bill
shows
Murray.
up.
No Harold Ramis. No Ghost Harold Ramis.
I
No,
was
they didn't
very
do that.
disappointed. He's my favorite Ghostbuster, Ghost Harold Ramis.
Yeah. Not mine.
I think
Bill
I've
Murray.
called like 3 different people my favorite Ghostbuster in this episode, and none of them are.
Mine's got to be McKenna Grace, honestly.
She's probably the best of this new cast. She's not funny, but
No.
like I'm at least like that first scene she has with her gay lesbian ghost love interest, where they're like playing
Gay lesbian. I love that you called her.
where they're playing chess out in the park or whatever.
Right.
I thought that was like, I'm watching that and I'm like, man, she really holds the screen.
Mhm.
Like I'm invested in this movie when she's in there. And then it turned out like she wanted to fuck the ghost, and I was like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And by the way, it's established in this franchise that a ghost can give a blowjob. So why did she have to go through all that rigmarole to become a ghost in order to touch her? Because it seems to me she could have been snacking down on that puss.
Oh my gosh. Well, all right. Well, first of all, I don't think that that's really what McKenna had in mind. I think that they were just gonna like hang out together.
No, are you fucking crazy?
I thought it was just like be a ghost and then we can like be more connected.
No, the plan was to make out for 2 minutes. That was 100%
Was it really?
the plan. Yes.
Huh.
Listen, because it's not a love interest thing at first. That's why I like the scene with the chess. And I sort of like the scene where she like goes into that diner and she's there and can't hit her.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the time the ghost turns up like in her bedroom
Yeah.
to like have a chat, I'm like, oh, there's some heat between these two.
All right. Damn, I feel like I really had some. I like how it is treated. Like she's like mom wants them to like. She's like, you're a kid, go like grow up, get in trouble, and this is what she does. She has like a little love adventure. I thought it was pretty sweet.
It's all right.
You didn't like that?
I just none of it's just not fun. Like these movies are supposed to be funny.
I don't care about that as much. Like when franchises change, like you care, like Evil Dead when that's not funny or like different.
Yes.
I don't really care. I'm fine
Nothing's
with them.
allowed to be funny anymore.
That's true. That's true. But I'm fine with them taking ideas, like morsels of an idea, and running and like changing it drastically. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I'm telling you, this has been like the way for franchises since like Batman Begins. Is like you take something that's a good time, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna take this shit deathly serious. All right, and it worked for a bunch of things at that time, and it made people think it'd work for anything. But I'm telling you, man.
You would be the person who like if The Dark Knight came out today, you would be saying, "Why is this so serious?"
No, why so serious?
Yeah, why so serious? Yeah, you would do that though.
No, man, I liked The Dark Knight.
Of course, but you would be like, in my day, like we had Batman Begins, and that's hilarious. You'd be like, this wasn't funny.
What do you? Batman Begins is not hilarious.
I mean, Batman Returns is what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a line. Like you can't just be firmly on one side of it. Like movies can
I
be.
think you can. I think you can make a hilarious Planet of the Apes movie,
Why,
or you
like
can make
Evil
a
Dead.
super serious one.
Evil Dead, the zombie part is not what's interesting. That's not why people like the first 2 Evil Dead movies.
No,
It's because they're funny. And that's true of this too.
But
Ghostbusters, my whole life was like one of the classic comedies.
there are some.
Say what you will about Lady Ghostbusters, man, but they popped 4 comedy stars in a movie and let them riff.
5, Chris Hemsworth.
I forgot he's in that. He's pretty funny in that.
He is funny in that. But think about Buffy. There are some amazing episodes of Buffy that are like 100% serious, and there are some episodes that are amazing that are 100% funny.
You know what, though? Those episodes wouldn't hit as hard if there wasn't a balance in the ongoing show.
Which is good for franchises too. I think that's good if there's some really serious movies and some funny movies. You could pick it. You can choose which ones you want.
All right. I mean, it's fine. I don't want these.
Okay, say that then. Don't say like there's no room for them or they shouldn't make them or they shouldn't exist. Just say that you don't. They're not for you as much.
But who are they for? Like, I haven't heard
I don't
a
know.
single
I'm just
person say
arguing.
like I love. Well, like Mikey Graff in his Patreon comment on Ghostbusters, he said like he didn't really care for it, but his 10-year-old loved it, and I'm like, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe these are for 10-year-olds, and that's
Yeah.
all right.
But they're so serious. What kind of
I
10-year-old
know.
wants like a super serious thing?
I know.
I didn't when I was 10.
Yeah, me neither, man. All right,
But I guess that I was 10 when The Dark Knight came
Cames
out. I
out?
said when that came out. So I don't know. Maybe this is The Dark Knight for Mikey Graff's kid. That's sad.
That is, see, come on, the quality gap is vast.
I had Nolan. He has Gil Keenan.
I know. He has Jason. He has Ivan Reitman's kid.
Come on, he's good.
No, he's not.
I don't know. I thought he made some stuff people like.
He made a few good movies because they had great scripts. All right, like he's worked with like Diablo Cody and shit. That's why he's made a couple of good movies.
Juno, yeah.
But then when he's up to and Young Adult, but then when he's up to his own devices, this is the kind of hacky bullshit he produces.
Oh, he did Tully also. This guy's actually.
Oh, that's what I meant when I said Young Adult.
Well, he did Young Adult too. He did Young Adult,
really,
and
right,
so, up in the air.
All right, so 3 of those are Diablo Cody scripts.
Thank you for smoking. Yeah, I didn't do
that was his first movie. Yeah, look, he was all right in his early career, but he was always working with great collaborators. I'm telling you, man. Then he started making shit like Labor Day. Right?
But that's what some people are. Some people are directors. Some people are writers. Like if James Mangold wrote all of his movies, they'd probably be bad. But he's a director. James Mangold, that dude's a director. He comes in, he directs.
But he does. Movies. But James Mangold brings himself to the work. Like you watch a Jason Reitman movie, like he doesn't have a style. They all feel different. They all feel like the script. You wouldn't say Juno feels like a Jason Reitman movie. It feels like a fucking Diablo Cody movie.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Yeah. Anyway. Whatever. But what more do you want to talk about?
I mean, there's got to be some stuff, right? We talk enough about Kumail. He's a fire master.
Yeah, I liked when his lighter wouldn't work because he's practicing too much.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually funny. Yeah, they're like, you use the lighter fluid. You guys saw me practice.
He legit might be my MVP of this movie. Like there were like the 3 scenes I liked the most in the movie all had Kumail in them. I liked the one where he was showing them his like grandmother's like back room too that's made of brass, and they kept calling it a sex dungeon.
Yeah, and he's like everything's for sale in here too. Don't
yeah, but he goes like, please stop making sex jokes about my recently deceased grandmother.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, I agree. But it's not gonna be my MVP.
Well, who's yours? McKenna.
I'm gonna go McKenna. Are we at the end? Is that it?
No, I mean we can talk about other shit. They went to the library.
You know,
they go to in the first one. They see the lady.
Yeah, that was cool.
Great callback.
Yeah,
and then they fight the lions outside.
Yeah, big lion. Yeah, the statue came to life or whatever.
Yeah,
I hated that part.
How was Bill Murray? Did you think he was funny?
No.
Yeah,
I mean, same. I mean, I liked when he got his. He had like alcohol in the wall, right? That was pretty funny.
But they established that the whole place had been strip mined by like homeless people in the 90s. Like no homeless guy found that alcohol.
Good point. Yeah, and he knew like exactly where to look. Like he knew it would be there.
Yeah, he put it there in like the 80s.
Yeah, that should have been gone actually.
Yeah. See. All right.
Whatever.
I sort of like the scene where he was like testing Kumail.
Like he did in the first movie?
At him and shit.
Oh. Did he... I think in the first movie when he does like the shocking test.
I mean, it's like that. That's definitely what it's a callback to.
Okay, yeah. No, Sigourney. Where was she at?
Fucking making Avatar 4.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's what she's doing these days. Is that all she does? I miss Sigourney.
You know, I watched Annie Hall yesterday, and Sigourney Weaver's in one shot of that movie. She doesn't even have any lines.
That's crazy. I never knew
I
that.
know. Isn't that crazy? I never noticed it before.
Jeez. You said you gave it 5. You're just like, still.
What?
No, I don't know. I just want to talk about it. Woody.
Has the quality of the film changed?
Nah, I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah. That's what, don't worry. You don't need to mention it because that's what every review on Letterboxd is talking about.
I know.
Nobody's talking about the movie.
I'm glad you stick to your guns. I'm glad.
Listen, sometimes sex pests are very, very talented. All right. Listen, if Woody Allen played podcast in this movie, I might be interested.
I went crazy. I don't know. Him hanging out with Kevin, all of his scenes with McKenna Grace.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
No.
He'd love McKenna Grace.
When you saw the scene of the lobsters, did you think about 21 or 22?
Yes, I did. I really did.
So funny. That's such a great scene. I love, that's one of the best scenes ever. The lobsters.
Which, the Annie Hall thing or
The Annie Hall
21
thing.
Jump Street?
But it's just that's just such a fun thing to like. We'll just have lobsters running around. We got to get the lobsters. That's such a fun idea.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, now we're just talking about how good Annie Hall is.
Yeah, let's
let's wrap up.
So MVP. Oh, I liked one part. We cool camera movement at the beginning when we go down the fire pole and the camera goes down it. I thought that was pretty neat.
That was all right. What about the villain? The big
Oh,
bad guy?
Jesus Christ. Terrible.
Just boring. All these movies just end with them like shooting special effects at special effects.
Yeah. It was
There's
like
one scene where he pops those horns back in his head, you know?
yeah.
And they did it using stop motion horns. And
That's
I was
cool.
like, this is the best looking thing in this entire movie. Like, why did we stop doing practical effects? That like every other like special effects shot in the entire movie looks like shit.
Two things. Time and money.
I know.
Costs
And I
too much
just-
time, too much money.
But like,
Listen, I agree with you. I wish they did that, but that's the reason they don't. It's because they
but like we
get away with
know
it.
how to make good movies. Like we all remember when movies were good, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Like part of the reason for that was the artistry involved.
We don't care. We just want to get them out there.
We just don't give a fuck anymore.
No, we don't care. So are we going 1, 2?
No, I'm gonna give it a 2, and I'll tell you what. I got through it. I was able to follow the whole story. There was
The
a
villain
part
was
where
bad. I
the
hated
villain was terrible, yeah. But there was a part they went to Coney Island for a while. There were a few subplots that I wouldn't say I was invested in, but like I was like when they'd go back to it, I'd be like, oh, good, we're back here. So
But that's a problem because the other stuff's so bad. Maybe you're just excited to be at like a 2 out of 5 rather
All
than
right.
1.
All I'm saying is Ghostbusters Afterlife is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And this is definitely better than that.
I think the best part in either of these movies is the beginning of the last movie when they're like moving into the town. I kind of liked that. They're like moving into their house.
I don't like anything about that movie.
I like the
Anything.
setup of the family in the first movie, and then it's all downhill from there.
To be honest, like I thought the stuff they did with the family dynamic in this movie was way better.
Maybe I think Paul Rudd was better in this movie, so him with the family is good. I like that.
Yeah, you know,
But
except for Finn. But like, you've got Finn is just such a bad act. Like that kid cannot. You just put in shit because hey, it's that kid from Stranger Things.
how long is this gonna last, though?
I don't know. It's not like they're doing that with the other kids. I don't see the face kid and stuff. I don't see the black kid and stuff. Even Millie Bobby Brown, I kind of thought she was going to start turning up in a bunch of shit, and she doesn't.
Yeah, not really. Well, she had a movie Damsel this year, didn't she? Like,
yeah, I know, but no one went to see it. They're not putting her in like big franchises.
Well, they're trying to make her own franchises. They did give her a Godzilla movie that you didn't see,
Yeah, I remember that.
the King of the Monsters.
She turned up in Versus Kong too.
Oh, really?
Oh, I don't know this character because I skipped that one.
It's 11, don't you know?
Well,
That'd have been cool if she started like fighting King Kong with her mind or whatever.
11 does. She does a lot of coke. You know, that's why her nose is bleeding all the time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
She's really like irritated that septum.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I'll go two also. My MVP, I'm gonna go McKenna. You're gonna go Kumail. That's the craziest thing that ever happened. Are you serious?
Listen, I used to be a big fan of Kumail. I really enjoyed his stand up for years. He had like an edge to him. And then, like, ever since The Big Sick came out, he just plays like goofy, fun roles and stuff. He basically has become Patton Oswalt. And so the fact that I watched him in this and he was like funny consistently, I was amazed by that. And then Patton showed up and was fucking god awful.
Yeah, I really hated Patton, and I think
Patton might be my LVP. Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna go Kumail MVP, Patton LVP. I'm giving. Listen, I saw Big Fan in theaters. I was a big Patton Oswalt fan, and he's worse than podcast in this.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I mostly know him as Remy from Ratatouille.
Well, that's a classic too.
Yeah, but
He had a great run, but then he went crazy, murdered his wife, and now he's just like
allegedly.
not interesting, or he has like no edge to him, like whatsoever.
No. It's crazy you give this a 2 and Kumail is your MVP because I feel like that would point to it being a 1 if Kumail is the best thing, but it's actually a 2. Which
Hey, I gave The Big Sick a 3. That
That's a good
guy
one.
can do it, but
Did he
you
write
know.
that too? I feel like he
yeah, he did. He co-wrote it with his lady.
yeah. That's the easily the best thing he ever did. Like it's not even close.
I mean, movie-wise, yeah.
was he in a show? Good show. Was he in that football fantasy football show?
No, he was in Silicon Valley.
Oh.
That's probably the best acting work he's ever done. But I mean, he's a guy, his stand-up and like his early podcasts and stuff, you really got like edge from this guy. Like you could tell he hated shit. And it's like now I don't think he'd ever admit to hating anything.
Yeah, he used to get edge, now you just get Christian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if we're talking wrestling, that's a good thing, baby. But I mean, you don't want to be looking at a Christian when you're looking for edge.
no, that's what I always say. Can I do something? I've seen 10 movies of 2024 so far. Can I rank them?
Yeah.
I'm not counting the documentary What Jennifer Did about this girl who may or may not have killed her parents. I'm not gonna include that one. So I've seen 11, but number 10, I'm gonna go with this Ghostbusters film. Didn't like it. Number 9, Roadhouse. Number 8,
Yeah.
Night Swim. Okay.
Wow, what a year.
Number 7, The Beekeeper. Number 6,
God, I gotta watch that.
this is very high. Didn't expect this to be so high, but I like it. Madam Web. All right, check it out, guys. Number 5, Immaculate. Number 4, Late Night with the Devil. Number 3, Abigail by Radio Silence.
Fuck
Number
off.
2, Lisa Frankenstein, back to back Newt Dog right there, the K Dog, Catherine Newton, and then number 1, Dune Part 2. So
I
that's
saw
something
in
really
your
good one, that's
your like review of Abigail, you're like, the acting was great, and I was like, oh fuck this anti-Semite.
I didn't say the acting was great.
Oh, I loved Melissa Barrera. She's an incredible actor.
I didn't say that.
She's
I said I had too much fun watching Barrera and Newton on screen.
there. You
That-
go.
That does not mean that she was a good actor.
That means you enjoyed her.
I did.
See, I'm incapable of having fun watching her on screen because all of my ancestors were raped by Cossacks and fucking put in concentration camps and shit. So when somebody really hates my people offhandedly for no reason, I genuinely or generally don't enjoy watching them on screen.
Guess what? There are people out there who feel exactly what you just said about Woody Allen. They're like, I hate Woody Allen because he feels this way about women. He's done this and this and this. I can't watch Woody. And you're fine. So there are other people out there who are just fine with Radio Silent or with Barrera.
I think there's a difference between and by the way, I understand anybody that can't watch a Woody Allen movie. If you can't get past like that thing, like I get it. But like for me personally, a writer director, I'm more interested in their point of view than I am in just watching. Melissa Barrera has no discernible talent whatsoever.
she's getting better. I do have to say.
She shouldn't be allowed to.
I don't know. I think she's She's a worthy screen presence, and I think she should be like Tomb Raider or somebody. She'd be good.
All right, yeah, let's put Gina Carano back in Star Wars while we're at it.
Yeah, you said that part. I didn't say that. What was it she did? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I didn't care because it wasn't to the Jews.
See, like other people get me mad about stuff, just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean anything. I don't care about anything. I understand why people are upset about everything.